joining us. I would like to say a warm welcome for everyone here. Good afternoon from Indonesia, distinguished speakers and guests. Welcome to the MONEV Safari in Youth and the Future of M&E. Hello, everyone. My name is Inaya, and I will be the master of ceremony. This session is also being live streamed through our YouTube channel at MONEV Studio. This webinar features short talks by young and emerging evaluators, or YEEs, from 4 different regions to spark inspirations among fellow youth, particularly students and early career professionals who are exploring or advancing their journey in monitoring and evaluation. This event also aims to promote and strengthen the relationship among South and North countries in the M&E sector. Next. Before we begin, I would like to make sure that everyone have a stable internet connections. Keep your position in a quiet and comfortable room, and after entering the Zoom room, make sure to change the name to the format as follow: name, followed by your institutions or organization by clicking on the rename options on your Zoom profile. Make sure to turn off your microphone during the speaker session for mutual comfort. If there are any questions during the sessions, you can type in the chat box or using the raise hand feature to be given the opportunity to speak after being appointed by the moderator. This session will be delivered fully in English, and by the end of the event, there will be an attendance and feedback form. We advise you to visit the link and fill in the form. Next. Now let me introduce you to MONEV Studio. MONEV Studio is an M&E-focused organization that provides monitoring and evaluation and development study services to support better development performance and results. We have also created the MONEV 4.0, a super app designed to connect users across government institutions, non-government organizations, and civil society actors. Our work spans inclusive M&E learning, advisory and consultancy services to bridge gaps in M&A practices, digital innovation to streamline M&A process, and fostering collaborative, cross-sectoral approaches to strengthen the impact of evaluation. MONEV Studio has also participated in more than 40 projects, national and international scale, for more than 7 years. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, let us take a moment in the passing of the Eval Torch ceremony. We invite the chair of the Eval Youth Global Network, Ana Erika Lareza, to deliver this speech. Over to you, Erika.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon and good evening to everyone, especially if you are in the Asia region. I'm really pleased to join you all here today here at MONEV Safari as we gather to celebrate a vital theme, you, the young people, and the future of the monitoring and evaluation, and join the relay of the Evil Torch. The Evil Torch has a very special place in Evil Youth's history, motivated by passion and desire to help develop the field and advance the evaluation to contribute towards the delivery of the SDGs. The Evil Torch was first lit in 2015 during the International Year of Evaluation in Kathmandu, Nepal. In the midst of that space, they recognized young people as agents of change and the need to invest in them and to create an enabling environment for young people to thrive in the field of evaluation. Hence, the EVAL Youth Global Network was formed. So for EVAL Youth, the torch is really more than a symbol that calls us to action for a future where evaluation fosters a more just and sustainable world. The Evil Torch is a living witness, a testament to the commitments made back then to meaningfully engage youth in evaluation and amplify their voices in the field. 10 years on, it's Evaluate's 10-year anniversary this year. We certainly have already inherited that mission. And so we raise the Evil Torch again. This is a deliberate act to build on the progresses that our predecessors have made in integrating youth perspectives and leadership into the evaluation practice. We raise the evil torch again to reignite collective passion and spur renewed action. The evil torch serves as a powerful catalyst, fostering a common vision for evaluation community. It reminds us that we share a fundamental goal to make evaluation a more powerful tool for positive change. By relaying this symbol from Eval for Action to MONEV Studio, I invite everyone, young and emerging evaluators and seasoned professionals available in this room to actively contribute and to join this shared vision. Let's carry this torch forward in our work and advocacy beyond this event. Let's take this opportunity to unite as a community, especially as young people. You step into leadership roles, bringing fresh energy and insights. Let us collectively shape what's next for evaluation. Together, we can ensure that evaluation remains relevant, impactful, and truly responsive to today's needs and tomorrow's complex challenges and opportunities. So, to MONEV Studio, whom I've also witnessed in the past several years consistently supporting young people in the region, know that on behalf of the Evil for Action campaign and its co-leaders, Evil Youth truly takes great honor to be able to relay the Evil Torch to you. May the Evil Torch light your way forward towards a more inclusive and effective evaluation. I now officially pass the torch to MONEV Studio. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Erica, for your inspiring speech. And now we invite Natasha Angreni from MONEV Studio to deliver the speech. To Natasha, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Inai, for your time. Good afternoon, everyone. I am truly honored to receive the torch from Erica, the chair of the Evaluate Global Network. Thank you again, Erica, for passing the torch to me. This moment is more than symbolic, as Erica said before. It reflects the spirit of the Eval Torch movement, a global relay that celebrates the power of youth, intergenerational solidarity, and the belief that evaluation must evolve with the voices of those who will carry it forward. As a young and emerging evaluator myself, I deeply believe that our role is not just to learn from the past, but also help to shape the future of evaluation sectors, whether it is through participatory methods, digital innovation, or even bringing life experience to the center of our work. YEEs are not only showing that we are not waiting for our turn, but we are contributing now. But none of us can do this alone. So as I receive this torch today on behalf of MONEV Studio Global and beyond, I want to offer action to build a space where YEs can augment and be text and global. And let's evaluation not as a technical practice, but also as a powerful tool for inclusion and also system development. Once again, and evaluate for this opportunity. And back to you, Inai.
All right. Thank you very much, Natasha from MONEV Studio. Now the evil torch has officially passed to Natasha from MONEV Studio. Now let us celebrate the evil torch relay. Therefore, we advise all participants to open the camera for a brief moment and to use the virtual background that has been distributed. And then I will be demonstrating you to hold the torch like this. So you can see from my background, I'm holding the torch just like Erica, who already held the torch. And then I will be assisted by Eka, who will take the pictures.
Okay, Naya. So it will be the slide one first. Okay, for everyone. Three, two, one, and once more. Three, two, one. The next slide.
So,
Okay. Three, two, one. Three, two, one. Okay.
just a
Over to you,
minute.
Inaya.
Just a minute.
Listen again.
All right, thank you, Eka, for taking the pictures. And now,
Is mine
let
is
us.
mine in?
Yes,
Is
sir, your
mine in?
microphone. Yes, it's clear. We can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm in a meeting somewhere, and I was just finishing up something, but hope my picture is taken. I hope it is clear.
Okay, we will check the picture first.
Can you see me? Okay.
Okay, now moving on. Thank you everyone for taking the pictures, and perhaps we can moving on into the next session, which is the main agenda. And now we have come to the M&E methods from a youth perspective. It's the YEE talk, and I would like to give the floor to our moderator, to Natasha. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Inai, for the opportunity. And I would like to say good afternoon to everyone here from Jakarta and welcome to MONEV Safari, Youth and the Future of M&E. This is a part of MONEV Studios anniversary celebration events. And I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Natasha, and I'm truly honored to be your moderator for today's session. We are excited to feature a vibrant panel of young and emerging evaluators here, or YEEs, who will be sharing innovative practices and perspective from across the globe, from the Europe, Africa, Asia Pacific to the MENA region. We will hear how youth are not only participating in evaluations, but also leading the change in the field. We hope this session sparks ideas, inspiration, and also connection among early career professionals and students that exploring the world of monitoring and evaluation. Let's dive into our main part of this program, that is YE Talks. Each speakers will share an evaluation method, experience, or insight they are passionate about. This talk represents global tapestry of youth voices and real-world application of M&E. Before we begin our YEE talks, maybe I would like to take a moment to personally greet and welcome all of our amazing speakers joining us today from across the globe today. Hello to Leah, Hairunisha, Fisan, and also Razan. It is truly a pleasure to have you all here with us today, and thank you for taking your time to share your experience and insights with the MONEV Studio community. We're really looking forward to learning from each of you guys, not only about methods and tools, but also about the passion, the creativity, and the purpose you bring to your work as young evaluators. So now let's move to our first speaker, which is Fisan Senyondo. Before we begin, allow me to introduce Fisan first. So Fisan is a seasoned monitoring and evaluation specialist, researcher, and also statistician from Uganda. He currently works with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and also lectures at the Uganda Management Institute, or UMI. Fisan holds multiple degrees and certification in M&E and has trained evaluator across East Africa. He is also a former General Secretary for from the Uganda Evaluation Association and is actively involved in the AFREA network as East Africa Regional Representative. Today, he will be sharing with us about participatory evaluation in community level programs that includes a case study that highlights the involvement of local stakeholders in evaluation practices. Hello, Vincent.
Hello.
Could you hear me? Yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yeah, it's very clear here. How are you, Vincent?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good too. It's really nice to have you here.
Okay,
So
nice to
without,
have you too.
yeah. So without further ado, maybe, Vincent, I give the floor to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, I'm in a field. I'm not in office, so but I nevertheless I said I will endeavor to participate to give my discussion and before my network destabilizes. So thank you so much. Hope you can see me and you can follow. So today I'll share with you a simple information about the youth and the future of M&A in my perspective, and then I'll end with the case study which you've ably spoken to. Next slide, please. To set the state and to set the agenda and set the stage for our discussion today. Oh, okay, just a minute. I think my video is not good. It did, okay. Let me just remove the background. Okay, thank you. Okay, hope it's better or let me just.
Yeah, we can see you clearly, Vincent. It's really nice weather there.
Okay, sorry, I'm in the field, so don't worry. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, as a form of introduction, like I was saying, I bring you greetings from Uganda, which is the part of Africa where youth are not just the future, but we are also the present. Knowing that make up the bigger percentage of the youth within the country, and they're also actively involved in the M&E fraternity within the country. So I'll be sharing also a simple reflection from my own journey in government, academia, and also a number of coordinator platforms which I led. Please, next slide. So to set the case for the youth in Africa and Uganda in particular, in Africa, over 60% of our youth is under the age of 25. And in Uganda, this is even worse because Uganda is one of the countries whereby youth are the youngest in the whole world, with a median age of 16.3 years, and whereby 50% of all our population is below the age of 18 years. So these youth are energetic, they are tech savvy, and community rooted within whatever is going on within the respective communities. So we believe that real development happens when youth are both participants, but are also shapers of the evaluation in which we undertake. Next slide, please. I'll be a little fast because I was given only 10 minutes, only 15 minutes. So I was saying that youth in the country face many challenges and also across the globe. And I'll be speaking about some of the real stories in the real life we go through. Uh, Evidence must reflect our lived realities. Youth are closer to the challenges. So we speak about the youth in M&E, we speak about the SDGs in M&E, but we find that many of our youth are unemployed. They are not even sure of their next meal with the following day. So how can this big energy of the youth be the future of our countries and also be the future of the evaluation to inform the learning, to inform the accountability in our respective environments? So, as the youth, we are not waiting to be empowered. We are creating grassroots solutions through the various tech surveys, BSLA innovations, innovation hubs, among others, to see that as we drive the future of M&E and also our communities, we are all representing them well with all that we have, because we believe we are not just the future, but we are also the present. Next slide, please. Next. So like I was saying, the future is now. And we've seen the advancement of AI and real-time data dashboards using Power BI, using advanced Excel, among others. We've seen lots of climate change, participatory evaluation, feminist approaches, and among others. So these are also on the rise, showing that the youth who are the center and back of all these innovations, we can't say these are simply the future. We must go into the future, but also being cognizant of the present, whereby we are the majority. So next, please. So youth and the vital torch. So if we are passing on the torch and lighting the way, we have to know that like the global community has been saying, I'm happy I'm seeing Anna Elika here. I was with her in Rome last month, I think, when they are giving the Eval torch to the ideas team. So this Eval torch simply symbolizes responsibility, continuity, and courage within the M&E profession and fraternity. It is a call for intergenerational collaboration and mentorship. Therefore, holding the Val torch is not simply ceremonial. It is a catalyst or catalytic kind of approach, which says that we are ready to lead with the purpose it deserves as the youth of this generation. Please, next. So, next slide, please. So, if you're reviving the Val torch, if you're receiving the torch, whom are we receiving it from? The youth, we believe that we have energetic and can take on the mantle of evaluation within government and the rest of the spheres where M&E is practiced and also done. So if you're taking it from across the continent, legacy to leadership, we see that the torch has reached the youth across several continents. We are now holding, you are from Jakarta there in Indonesia. We are here in Kampala. Yesterday had a very big talk where we had very many people across the world. So this is not just uh, uh, a torch. It's revolutionizing M&E to tell the youth that here it is. This is your time to shine. This is your time to take on the M&E in all the spheres that it calls for. It therefore calls on senior evaluators to trust and mentor the youth and empower the next generation of evaluators. So we call upon the youth to rise, skill up, and take charge when the time is now. So we can only step into the future if we step into it today. So this torch connects platforms, continents, and generations, like I have mentioned. Next, please. I will not speak about the barriers, why the youth get locked out sometimes so much, but we recognize that sometimes they have limited access to finance and mentorship opportunities, and also being used by the politician and other people tokens, among others, and also having limited pathways for professional certifications. Sometimes only learning a course, a diploma, a degree may not be enough, but certification and a continuous mentorship is sometimes very, very paramount. Next, please. As a call to action, what needs to happen? You need to invest in youth evaluations, and pay attention to certifications, the funding, and also the visibility of the youth. You need to institutionalize the youth roles in national evaluation systems, whereby if you are to have evaluations going on in our respective countries, we need to ensure that the youth are part and parcel of this. And we need to move from consultations to co-creating the solutions together with the youth, because we believe that it is not just consulting and doing these things within the boardrooms. No, it will not work if you're only in boardrooms, but having the youth to work with all that they can. Next, please. Okay. Okay. Next slide. Okay, here I was just showing that. Okay, first go to the previous one, please. The previous one, the previous slide. Yeah, okay. Not that one, the previous one. No, previous slide, please. Previous? No? Okay. Yes. So I was saying that from compared to the world, yesterday, like I was saying, we had a very great forum whereby we had over 642 people who registered for one of our capacity building trainings in Uganda and East Africa. So these ones were from across the world. Um, we saw that empowering the next generation of the youth requires us to be thorough in their mentorship and also trusting them to take on the key decisions which they really take. So next slide, please, as I proceed. So we saw that yesterday in our training, which was basically looking at enhancing M&E capabilities, and we are looking at how we can use AI in analytics. We had people from across the world. We had people from Africa, from 30 countries, like you can see them there, from Asia 7, from Europe, from North America, and also Oceania. And the Zoom link we had, I think, we had a capacity of about 500, but the ones I managed to at least to see were over 400 and about 70. But at some point, it was to full capacity. So this shows that the youth are eager to learn. And if we empower them and also show them the way, we believe that this can go a long way in enhancing their respective capacity. Next, please. So the final reflection on the youth being the future of the evaluation, we need to fund their we need to fund the potential, not just the projects. We need to have youth. We need to recognize that youth are not just the leaders of tomorrow, already leading today in various projects. And we don't just need invitation to speak. We need platforms to act and ensure that the youth are involved in all the processes that they do deserve and which are available. And also, lastly, when you fund the youth and empower them, you fund and empower the future of evaluation across the globe. So that was part one of my discussion. Hope I try to shed the light on the future of M&E among the youth, or the youth and the future of M&E. Let's go to the part B, which I thought I would also speak to. Basically looking at community barazas on health service delivery within Uganda. Next, please. So here, you're basically looking at from on the perspective approaches, you're looking at co-designing evaluation tools for program interventions, whereby the case study we are looking at, which I managed to bring up, was about the community barazas on health service delivery within Uganda. And this was mainly implemented by the government, Office of the Prime Minister, OPM, and was focusing on maternal and child health within the Central District of Uganda in 2023. Next, please. So, for those who do not know the barazas, what they are, these are simply public dialogues which are institutionalized by the Uganda Office of the Prime Minister as part of the government's public service M&E frameworks. And their core objective is simply to enhance citizens' participation in governance by creating platforms for feedback on public service delivery. So how do we see, how do the citizens see the services that the government is offering? So for this particular case, which I'm discussing today, it simply aims to empower communities, especially women and youth, to express their lived experiences, generate local evidence, and also directly engage with duty bearers. Next, please. So, what were the objectives of this baraza? To basically to assess the quality and accessibility of maternal health services within Nakaseke, and to involve local stakeholders in co-designing the evaluation tools, to foster dialogue between the citizens, service providers, and also the government officials who are the bearers of these duties and rights, and also to identify actionable solutions to service the vulnerable bottlenecks within the district. Next. In terms of methodology, one, the stakeholder engagement whereby various youth groups, women, pregnant women, government, OPM, and civil society were involved. And another one was co-designing of the tools, which involved the focus group discussions, the key informal interviews, among others. And also youth and women were actively involved in identifying the key indicators, such as availability of the medicines, the midwife staffing, the waiting time to respond to care, among others. So the youth were actively involved in this design. Next, please. The community dialogues. The baraza brought together over 300 participants, including the pregnant mothers, the healthcare staff, the local leaders, the youth, among others, and also those from the government kind of setting. And in terms of data collection and feedback, youth evaluators conducted rapid assessments prior to the baraza, and we used the community scorecards, which were presented during the sessions, and also issues were ranked and prioritized in a participatory manner on the services across the district. Okay, next, please. In terms of the key findings, it was noted that the stockouts of essential drugs were there in the health center. There are also limited facilities, limited staffing, sorry. During especially night shifts, people could come and there are no doctors and midwives to work on them. Also, cases of disrespect were reported by the young mothers where they do get pregnant, harsh kind of treatment from the service care providers. Also, inadequate ambulance responses, and sometimes they're not even enough for the population. You find that the facility has about 2-3 ambulances to serve a very big population, and some are not being able to be helped. Please, next. In terms of the outcomes and actions, there are commitments from district health officers to recruit one more midwife and improve the schedules to reduce on the waiting times. Also, immediate response from OPM to fast track supply chain reviews. Okay, and also lastly, formation of health service over formation of health services oversight committee with youth and women representatives to track and monitor the issues as they come along in a timely manner. And lastly, there was a community radio to be used to provide monthly feedback on agreed action points. This was because a list of the key recommendations were put up. So how would the community know what the progress is being made? These were some of the actions which were agreed upon. Next, please. Some of the key lessons learned was that participatory evaluations builds trusts and strengthens social accountability, and also that youth bring innovation and energy into community engagements, and also that simplified tools or visuals, they can increase inclusivity of the evaluations and their respective uptake. Next, please. As some of the sustainability measures, there was integration of Baraza action points into the district planning circles to continuously get feedback. Also, continued mentorship for young evaluators by the district M&E team, such that on each and every Baraza which is being done, and each and every evaluation which is being conducted, youth are also involved into these respective actions. And also the involvement of a Baraza toolkit for replicating into other sectors like education, among others, within other districts, not only Nakasek, where this was conducted. Next, please. So in conclusion, this Baraza exemplifies the power of community-driven evaluations by co-creating tools and engaging citizens in real-time dialogue. So because people are now able to get ideas, to speak to what is going on, they're able also to ensure that they get solutions to the key issues affecting them. Thank you so much for God and my country. So I've been in the field. I have not been in office, and I didn't want to miss this. That's why I moved out of the meeting in the field to come and make this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time and sharing, Vincent. I truly amazed by your work actually yesterday on the capacity building that you shared me before. I think the same forum should be like conducted more often and focus on the youth participation since they often face barriers to access material for educational purposes. And I'm also interested and appreciate your work on community baraza. I guess as a global south country, we're facing the same problem in terms of health sector, especially as you said before, the essential drugs availability for the maternal and child health sector. But again, your work is truly inspire us here, especially me who focus more on health sector monitoring and evaluation. Again, thank you, Vincent, for sharing your incredible experience to us. And thank you again for your time, Vincent. Next, we will move to the next speaker here. We have Kaironisa with us that will be represent the Asia Pacific region. Also known as Chacha, is a marine and marine issues. Chacha has experience working with endangered marine species and has done research internship in Taiwan. Currently, she is a research and operation officer here with us at MONEV Studio Global, with hands-on experience in the project management, research, and also monitoring and evaluation, of course. Today, she will reflect with us on her experience leading the data collection for the Indonesian Green Affordable Housing Program that focus on the technical challenges and also lesson learned from the national level survey implementation. So, Chacha, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Natasha, for the opportunity. So good afternoon, everyone from Indonesia. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Hairunisa, and I serve as the Research and Operation Officer at MONEV Studio Global. Today, I'm truly honored to share insights from our recent work on the Indonesian Green Affordable Housing Program, or IGAHP Potential Beneficiary Survey, which uh, used the ex-ante evaluation designed to support inclusive housing policy in Indonesia. Next, please. So, okay, as many of us know, Indonesia continues to face a significant housing backlog, especially among low-income households. And this project, conducted in collaboration with the Minister of Housing and funded by the Asian Development Bank, or ADB, sought to provide critical data to address that challenge, not just in terms of numbers, but in ways that ensure policies are inclusive, equitable, and grounded in the lived realities of the people. So, through this study, we aim to gather evidence that can directly inform a more inclusive and affordable housing solutions. So, as we know that the goal is clear, equitable access to adequate housing. However, we face challenges such as limited financings, disaster vulnerability, and fragmented data. So, this study, help us identify these pain points and understand how we might address them strategically. Next, please. So
what does inclusion really mean when we talk about housing? So, in this context, it means recognizing and addressing the needs of those often left behind, such as like informal workers, disaster affected families, and the urban poor. And it's about building policies, not just from the top down, but from the bottom up data driven, participatory, and responsive to different community voices. Next. So why inclusion matters? So our findings are sobering. Nearly 70% of respondents can only afford monthly housing payments below 500,000 Indonesian rupiah, and over one third work in the informal sector, making them ineligible for formal housing finance. And a significant proportion live in structurally weak homes, such as wooden walls, inadequate roofing, and prone to disaster. So according to this, it's not just only the statistics, like it's also the reminders of the barriers people face every day and why the inclusion must be at the center of housing reform. Next. Okay, so in this slide, inclusion is multidimensional because economically many cannot access conventional financing, and geographically those in disaster prone areas need special support. Also, socially, a woman's participation is limited in some areas, and in terms of accessibility, housing quality remains a major issue. Next. So, the strategic intervention based on the realities, our recommendation focused on actionable solutions. Uh, the first one is home improvement financing emerged as a top priority. The did scaling up schemes like FLPP or home ownership credit and KRR or home renovation credit, but with more flexible terms tailored to actual household income patterns. And we also saw a clear need for culturally appropriate outreach. Misinformation, low awareness, and distrust remain barriers. And to overcome them, I think we must speak the language of the people. Uh, I mean, contextually. Next. So this is where the ex-ante evaluation comes in. Ex-ante evaluation means using data before a program is implemented to improve its design. Before a program begins, we ask who is it for, what do they need, and what risks do they face. And in this context, ex-ante evaluation is a strengthening program design based on beneficiaries' needs and targeting strategies to ensure more impactful program implementation. Through this forward-looking lens, we assess that eligibility and targeting accuracy, willingness to pay, and disaster risk vulnerability. Next. And how exent evaluation supports inclusion. So the IGE HAPE study did exactly that with over 66,000 validated entries. It enriched the Simperum, Lentera Hijau, and Rumahku, which are uh, the application based the government based application, and it also helped identify income based needs, vulnerable applications, and housing quality gaps to shape better targeted programs. Next. So, through this IGHP study, we encountered several key lessons that shape our understanding of inclusive evaluation. So, the first one is, of course, the collaboration with local governments and communities was very vital, but not always easy. Like coordination challenges also often delayed the field work, and we also face technical issues, For example, like in remote areas, poor internet would disrupt digital surveys, and outdated household data meant uh, our our field team had to verify information on the ground. And the misinformation and low trust among respondents were also the real barriers, which remind us the importance of clear and respectful communication. And environmental condition like floods and rough terrain also made the data collection harder and required flexibility in planning. So we also learned that the well-trained and locally informed enumerators, as well as aligning fieldwork with local schedules, are the key to ensuring both data quality and community engagement. Next. So personally, as a young and emerging evaluator, because I'm also in my early career, this project was incredibly enriching. I learned how real world data collection works, how critical local context is, and how data becomes policy. And most importantly, I saw how inclusivity must be at the heart of evaluation. I also acknowledge that no study is without its challenges. So we because in the reality we encountered for example we encountered challenges like the poor connectivity, outdated data, and the coordination gaps between with local actors. We all But however, we also learned the importance of trust, context, and adaptability. So as a young and emerging evaluator, this brings me to several reflections that I learned the power of meaningful participation, that how collecting data is not just technical but also deeply relational. And I saw firsthand how like local context shapes both the challenges and the solutions. And I understood the value of bridging evidence with policy, as well as I realized that inclusion is more than just a principle, it's like a practice that must be embedded in every step of the evaluation process. Next. So I think that's for me for my presentation. Thank you everyone, and over back to Natasha or Inaya. Thank you.
Thank you again, Chacha, for sharing your important work. I just want to appreciate your work here because I know it is an important ex ante evaluation that you have carried out. I mean, 12 province, that's a lot of number. And the data that you have gathered is really help the government with their decision making processes in planning the green housing program at national level here in Indonesia. Again, thank you, Chacha, for sharing us your work. Next, we will move to our third speaker, Lea Corsetti from the European region. So Leah is a young evaluation professional with a background in social sciences and anthropology from the Wageningen University. She brings international experience across sectors like agriculture, rural development, and also system transformation. Leah is also vice chair of the Evaluate Management Group and co-leads of the thematic working group on young and emerging evaluators, or TWG5. Today, she will be sharing with us insights on mixed method in program evaluation from a global perspective. So without further ado, maybe Leah, the floor is yours, please.
All right, thank you very much. In the interest of time, I will be brief, or as brief as I can be, also to leave some space for questions. But I wanted to start a little bit with the context in Europe. I am based in Europe today. I'm joining you all from Madrid in Spain, where I have traveled for some meetings. And I work mostly on global programs. As you probably all know, there's a lot of the big donors and a number of UN agencies who have headquarters in Europe. So I would say that the field of monitoring and evaluation within this context operates at several levels, including actually at the donor level, all the way down to sort of local community based. So for this reason, I chose a big evaluation that I worked on last year to present. Um, and I always joke I'm not a very technical evaluator. Numbers and I are not friends. However, I am very much specialized in mixed methods evaluations, and I think that there's actually a need in a lot of cases to have more qualitative methods in evaluations as opposed to, pure impact numbers based. So this was an evaluation that I worked on with CGIAR, the agri-food sort of policy and research organization. They're headquartered in Rome. And in this work, we were looking at food, land, and water sort of thematically across 5 impact areas of climate, environment, nutrition, poverty, and gender. So specifically, I guess, what you would think about a little bit if you're thinking about system transformation in an agri-food context. It was a big evaluation. There were 3 parallel evaluations happening at the same time. Each evaluation had a team lead, a young person on the team, and sort of at least 3 subject matter experts. So it was very big, and we are looking at a global program. So what did this global program encompass? Well, it encompassed 12 initiatives. And I think these 12 initiatives were sort of implemented in most regions across the world, definitely Latin America, Africa, Asia, but there were a couple also in Eastern Europe, Central Asia. We did several field trips and field visits, most notably to Kenya and Bangladesh. And I was on the Bangladesh mission, so that's the pictures I've chosen for this occasion. And amongst the many sort of things that we did, we spoke with about 119 people. So we did about 119 interviews. And there was a big internal survey launched, of which 400, we had identified 437 survey respondents as being relevant for the work that we were doing, or specifically the theme we are supposed to cover. CGIAR is a research for development organization. So that means also that they work with their own criteria. So that is, the DAC, I call it the DAC criteria plus. So one of the big criteria that they came out with is the quality of science assessment, because they are a research organization as primarily. So that's why that is there. But I've linked some things at the end of these slides if you want to read more about it. Next slide, please. Amazing, thank you. So when you do a mixed method evaluation, and I forgot to mention that to compound the chaos, we also were doing a real-time evaluation approach. So everything that we were doing, we had to make sure that any evaluation finding, any emerging theme had to also be reported back to key stakeholders. So, when you do a real-time mixed method evaluation, like any evaluation, you start with a desk review of program documents. Then you put together an interview guide and actually talk to people. For this evaluation, there were also 3 case studies and 1 deep dive that were being created at the same time. we did field observations. There were a couple of focus group discussions with some stakeholders, the survey, and all of that had to be brought in and triangulated. So after the initial data analysis, there was a big triangulation effort to make sure that everything we had been reporting as emerging up till that point actually had evidence to back it. And as well as the theory of change validity work that we did, the quality of science assessment, comparative analysis, etc. There was also I believe there was 3 or 4 rounds of validation with different stakeholders so that the findings were most useful to everyone. Also because they were being used to, in real time, inform the creation of the next portfolio that was going to inform the next 5 years of work. So there was also that. Next slide, please. A couple of key findings, which you can read on the slide, but the work that we did in this context was already in a context of budget reductions and significant budget reductions. And I think as youth right now, I think we're facing a double challenge. I think there's a lot of innovations out there that make the evaluation world a little bit more streamlined, can be used, if used correctly, can really make life easier, especially if you're an independent consultant like me. On the other hand, we're facing this context of decreasing aid budgets and decreasing aid spaces at, frankly, all levels. So I think there is a unique position for youth to advocate and ensure that the spaces remain open also in training the next generation. But yes, I do suspect things will be a little tough in the coming years. But having said so, our evaluation findings, even with often nearly the allocation of half the requested budget, actually people were delivering. And people were delivering above and beyond what was expected with them, even with significant budget cuts. So this is all to say that, as stressful as it can seem, there are people who are really pushing and who really care. So I think I'll leave it at that. Also, because I know there's one more speaker. But if you go to the next slide, you can find a QR code to the report and a QR code to the CGR Independent Evaluation Office resource page. So if you want to know more, for example, about research for development or evaluating science, that is where I would go. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Leah, for your sharing about mixed method work that you have conducted. And I agree with you that combining quantitative data with contextual understanding is really important. But I also noticed that, especially here in Indonesia, the government or the stakeholders often did not know the importance of qualitative data. They're always happy when we are present them with the quantitative data, but with the qualitative one, they'll be like, we don't get it. Like they don't really understand the importance of the qualitative data. So I think it's really like a problem we should address here, especially in Indonesia. But again, thank you, Leah, for sharing with us today, and thank you for your time. And as the time is going, we are going to move to our last speaker, which is Razan Al-Ade. So I just want to I just want to introduce Razan first. So Razan will be representing the MENA region today. Razan is a monitoring, evaluation, learning, and management information system specialist with over 9 years of experience, mostly on USAID-funded initiative in Jordan. She has worked across sectors such as health, education, and youth sector, and is deeply engaged in gender and youth inclusion through evaluation. Razan also contributes to communities of practice and advocates for stronger data-driven decision-making in fragile and humanitarian settings. Her talk today is mainly will focus on integrating youth and gender perspective in evaluation, and particularly in humanitarian context. So, without further ado, Razan, the virtual stage is yours, please.
Thank you for the introduction. Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be part of this panel and to share reflections from Jordan, many of which I believe are relatable to evaluators across the MENA region. Over the years working in MEL, one thing became very clear to me. What we choose to measure is a reflection of what we value. And while our systems often do a good job tracking activities and outputs, they can become sometimes miss the human side, the youth who aren't seen in the data, or the gender dynamics that stay invisible. So today I want to reflect on how we can shift from just tracking progress to truly seeing people in our systems. Because when we change how we measure, we change how we design, evaluate, and ultimately how we decide. Move to next slide, please. Okay. My work spans multiple initiatives across different sectors, including a recent Wild Mel project. I've contributed to gender, youth related evaluation and research, from field visits to indicator design, using a Mel MIS lens that aimed to strengthen inclusion. Next slide, please. In one initiatives, we worked on evaluation planning and portfolio reviews, collaborating directly with evaluation team to refine the scopes, streamline data sources, and guide this aggregations. In another initiative, we supported the establishment of an M&E unit within a government body. We helped draft tools, refine indicator frameworks, and provide technical input in system design. We also led targeted training with the Ministry of Youth, which contributed to more strategic planning and generated valuable insight. At the same time, we observed that the efforts around youth inclusion, while structurally supported, sometimes lacked the depth of engagement needed to translate into sustained action, a reflection of a broader institutional familiar to many evaluators. One key insight, significant in other initiatives also, gender gaps persist. A literature review showed strong gender linkages, in gender-based violence, health, water sector leadership, and legal frameworks. But this didn't always translate into malpractices. Several challenges emerged, and I heard my colleague also mention that about the budget. Budgets weren't allocated for gender-focused work. Technical teams resisted integration. Disaggregated data was hard to collect due to tool limitations and sensitivities. So integration isn't about tools, it's about priorities, mindsets, and readiness. Next slide, please. Okay. Elsewhere, we worked to enhance youth engagement by supporting M&E structures within a public institution, developing planning tools, mentoring focal points, and improving internal data tracking. Still, internal resistance limited progress, and this wasn't an isolated issue. It echoed a broader regional trend. Youth efforts often lose momentum not due to lack of systems. There is systems, there is a strong systems, but due to internal misalignment and missing institutional will or priorities. And this Next slide, please. As someone in MIL and MIS, I see how systems either make people visible or invisible. In one case, we had to redesign a complex indicator just to enable useful disaggregated data collection. Also, without the right gender or age disaggregation, reporting stays incomplete. It's not just about the data, it's the structure and the awareness behind it. That's where inclusion either happens or gets blocked. Next slide, please. So, what we do take from this inclusion doesn't happen on its own. It takes intentional design, support from leadership, it's important, a shift in team mindset, and sometimes even a fight with a spreadsheet or database to make the data show what matters. And nowadays, dashboards are really important on those things. It helps you to detect the issues. But the effort is worth it. In my experience, even small changes like a revised indicator or a better feedback loop with youth can lead to real shifts in how programs learn and adapt. So, key takeaways: integration goes beyond indicators. It needs enabling systems and support. Internal resistance can be as limiting as external factors. Systems shape inclusion and design matters. Disaggregation is essential to reflect real differences. Mindsets matter just as much as tools. Long term integration needs budget, leadership, and will. As evaluators, our role isn't just to report what's missing, it's to model how inclusion becomes part of daily practice. Next slide, please. Thank you for being here and for listening. I hope this reflection has sparked something you can take back to your own work, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. What small shift could make inclusion more real in your context? Because that's how system change, one small shift at a time. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Razan, for your reflection. I think your reflection truly inspires us as YEEs in terms of inclusion in our evaluation, design, or programs. So I also agree with you in terms of gender is often treated as a tick box instead of we really integrate gender and inclusion in our work. And I think that will be like our next homework perhaps. But again, thank you so much, Present, for sharing your incredible experience with us. It is really sparks our motivation to integrate gender in our evaluation work.
Thank you.
So we are going to move to our next session. But before that, I would like to say thank you so much to all of our four speakers for those rich, thought-provoking insights. And it is truly inspiring us to see how youth from different regions are not only engaging with evaluations, but also you guys are shaping how it evolves. At this point, I would like to open a discussion and Q&A session. Maybe if you guys have any question or things to be confirmed, please feel free to raise your hand or feel free to write it on chat box also, whatever feels convenient to you. So maybe I'm going to open for the 3 questions first from all the participants. Please, if you have any question to all of our 4 incredible speakers, please feel free to raise your hand or chat it on the box. Okay, we have here with us that have raised their hand. We have here Kak Janet. Please, yeah. Please, Kak Janet.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me well?
Yes, it's very clear, Kak.
Okay, thank you so much for the time. I just have Oh, let me introduce myself first. My name is Janet Matani. I'm from Indonesia, currently working as the monitoring and evaluation coordinator for a national NGO here in Indonesia that's focusing on leprosy and children with disabilities. So this session is really good. Thank you very much for MONEV Studio for arranging this. I found all the speakers really insightful this afternoon. I have one question for Kairon. Yeah, I have a question for Kairunisa. Uh, I'm curious to learn more about your specific role in the evaluation process that you presented to us. Based on your explanation, you were involved in evaluating a government policy, which likely meant that you were working closely with government stakeholders and knowing the culture here in Indonesia that must have come with some unique challenges, especially in terms of navigating seniority, engaging with more experienced professionals, maybe experts in the government, dealing with the perceptions that evaluation can be sometimes intimidating or even trigger a resistance or defensiveness from the government. So my question is, did you find that intimidating, or were there any other challenges you encounter, especially as a young and emerging evaluator within the team? And how did you manage to overcome them? Thank you. That's all from me.
Thank you so much, Kak Janet, for your question addressed for Hairunisa. So any other question? Maybe I will open it for two other participants here before we move to our answering session by our speakers. Sorry. You can always use the chat boxes here to address your question. If you could not turn on your microphone, it is totally fine. I'm going to read your question as well to our speakers. So please, if you have any questions. Okay, maybe I will wait until 2 minutes more for you to address your question here. And unfortunately, because of our time is very limited, we only have like approximately 15 minutes left for our sessions. So I'm going to open for the question that is limited number. I'm so sorry, guys. But if you have more question to us or to our speaker, please feel free to reach out to us, maybe via our Instagram direct messages, and I'm happy to forward it to our speakers. And we'll happy to answer your question. Our Instagram and social media is MONEV Studio. You can find us on LinkedIn also. So yeah, we have our question here from Tumukunde Manuel. Thanks and my appreciation to all presenters. The session has been educative, informative, and insightful. Okay, thank you for your time also to attend this event, Tukumunde. Yeah, so the slides will be shared after the event, of course, to your emails. So the emails, we've been collected your emails via our registration form. But if you haven't filled out the form yet, we will give you the evaluation form at the end and the attendance form. You can put your email down there, and we will be happy to share all of the materials that provided today. with you. And also there is a certificate, so make sure that you guys fill out the attendance and evaluation forms. Thank you. If there are any questions, please feel free to raise to us. Yeah, so there's a question from Mercy. Thank you for the session and thank you to the speakers. I wish I learned about this earlier. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, the information is quite like scattered here. How can I know when the next session will be? The next session, for now we don't have any specific date or time for now, but you can make sure you follow us on social media so you can update it to our next event. Yeah, but for now we haven't planned any event yet, but in the future, yes, we have a plan to like this forum, like educational forum about M&E, and also MONEV Studio quarterly have like the book club sessions. So the MONEV Book Club is a quarterly event that we held in MONEV Studio, and all you guys can attend to it. And it is about reviewing or like discussing some books about monitoring and evaluation. I think that really help us to understand more about the technical aspect of monitoring and evaluation. And also, the previous session of MONEV Book Club is discussing about the book about AI in monitoring and evaluation, and you guys can check it out the live streaming session on our YouTube channel. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us. Maybe because there is no question left, maybe I would like to give the floor to Chacha to answer the question for Kak Janet. Chacha, please.
Okay, thank you, Natasha, and thank you, Janet, for your question. So, to answer the question for my specific role in the project, in the project, I was in charge of coordinating the field enumerators in East Kalimantan, specifically in Samarinda and Kutai Kartanegara. And my main responsibility was like to ensure smooth implementation of data collection there, and that we could reach our target of about five 5,000 respondents within a around 1 month period. And one of the recurring challenges in the field was dealing with the internet connection and the application errors during the data collection. And to manage this, I usually regularly check in with the enumerators to monitor any issues they were facing, and as well as supported them with the troubleshooting when needed. And I also facilitated weekly coordination meetings with the team to keep everyone aligned, address any field level concerns, and share updates or clarifications. And in addition to the team management, I also work closely with the local government stakeholders to anticipate and navigate regional challenges, such as like the unpredictable weather or local events that could affect data collection. So by that, those collaborative efforts help me to ensure both the quality and the timeliness of the data collection process. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Hairunisa, for your answer. Maybe I'm going to back to Kak Janet. Is it clear or you have any follow-up question to Chacha?
If it's okay, I have a follow-up question from Kacaca's explanation. So, another thing that I was I want to learn more about is your experience, like being a young and emerging evaluator. Like you are young, and maybe people around you are more, they are older, they have more experience, they have expertise. They are government, the people from the government. The culture within that is just. Did you find it uh, intimidating, or did you find any challenges working as a young person in M&E, evaluating government policy? Like how or did you, or you didn't find that, and how did you prepare yourself for that? Because as a young person, you must be it. I can imagine that would be something we worried about in doing an evaluation with this environment.
Okay, thank you, Ka Janet, for your question. So I think, well, at first, yes, actually, it can feel a bit intimidating at first, especially as a person who just, being in her early career, and especially to communicate with the senior, or like, the older government officials. But um, I've learned that, what is it? Actually, I've prepared myself for that, and to overcome those, I usually make sure that I understand the local context first, especially because like I lead the coordination for East Kalimantan, and I come prepared with clear objectives when engaging with them. So yeah, I also uh, approach the conversation like with the humility, and showing that I value their experience and local knowledge, while also positioning myself as someone there to uh, collaborate and find solutions. So over time, I found that being respectful, responsive, and transparent helps me to build what is it, like the mutual trust. Yeah, I think that's for me. Thank you, Kajanet.
Thank you so much, Chacha and Kajanet, for your discussion. Because our time is limited, I'm so sorry I have to close this Q&A session. As we come to the end of our session, I would like to thank to each of our speakers here, Leah, Chacha, Vincent, and also Razan, for your time, your stories, and also your insights as well. You have shown us not only the depths of knowledge that young evaluators bring to the field, but also the passion and the leadership that continue to push evaluation forward. But before we close the main session today, I would like to invite the speakers to give their final speech or notes to all of us YEEs that attend this event today. So maybe I would like to give the floor first to Razan. Razan, you still with us? Oh, maybe to
Yeah.
Vicent first. Vicent, do you have something to tell us today? Maybe like the final speech from you. I'm so sorry, Vicent, your voice is not very clear here. Maybe
My
your
network may not be. Yes, can you hear me, please?
yeah, yeah, it's clear right now.
Maybe I can put it in the chat room. Let me put it in the chat room, please. Better? Is this better?
Yeah, it's better now.
Hello.
Yeah, it's better, Vicent. I can hear you very clear. But your voice is
Thank you,
quiet like
uh,
laggy.
thank you, MONEV Studio, and
Yeah.
I beg your
Maybe you can
pardon.
turn off your camera for better internet connection, I guess.
Okay, is this better now?
Yeah, yeah, perfect.
Okay, thank you so much, our colleagues from Indonesia and for the MONEV Student Initiative. The work of the youth across the globe still has many challenges, but of course, we have to embrace the issue of have been leading initiative of the peer learnings. I've been engaging with our colleagues
Hi, Vincent. Unfortunately, we cannot
from the
hear you
Roraima, and
again.
where we've been doing a number of capacity builds. We open up what we call. Oh, okay. Let me put in the chat room, please.
Yes, please feel free to use the chat, Vincent. I know you are in the field and the internet connection sometimes is just like a. Maybe we can move to our next speaker, which is Razan. Do you have any message for us why he is here that attend this event?
Just to mind the gap and just to keep it in our mind that the tools and the design always matter. So if, as we mentioned previously, if the gender it's tick the box or we're trying to integrate youth and gender at the end of each any process, it won't benefit us. So always we have to start from the beginning to integrate youth and gender in the tools, in the policies, also in the budget of any project, because usually it's not prioritized in the budget. So we have to keep that in mind as like a mill and MIS, I can say, um, because we can't control the budget, but we can control the tools. So we always can ask the technical team, we always can communicate, because before any evaluation or even the evaluation, it's about communication, it's about the tools, and as I mentioned, the mindset. So those things we have to keep in mind as evaluators, as M&Es as well. And that's it.
Thank you, Razan, for your inspiring speech. Maybe I would like to ask Leah for turning on your microphone. Maybe you have something to tell us before we end this event. Give to you, Leah.
I'm going to first of all echo that with everything that Rezan has said. I also think that we need to think a little bit more intersectionally as a field. I think there's a lot of silos. I think as evaluators, we like little boxes and like putting things in little boxes and only working in your box. I think there's an opportunity to think more collaboratively, more intersectionally, and think intersectionally from, throughout the entire valuation cycle. And I also would like to remind everyone that actually, and I know this always sounds very empty. I also really much dislike when people say this, but youth are very capable, especially when it comes to the increasingly fast-paced innovation that is happening, both, online and with tools, what is accessible to us. Um, and I think there is a real opportunity there for, you know, um, the youth entering this space, entering this gap that has been created, and sort of saying, I familiarize myself with these innovations, with these new things. This is our added advantage. And I think we should not forget that. So I will leave it there. And thank you again for inviting me. And I hope to see you all soon.
Thank you so much, Leah, for your notes to us. I'm actually taking your notes here. So moving next, we have Tata. Maybe you can turn on your microphone to give us some speech.
Okay, thank you, Natasha, and thank you everyone for this what is it for this opportunity for me. Uh, I'm truly honored to be one of the speakers in this in today's event, and I think today's event is also such a reminder for us of the responsibility we carry as the next generation of evaluators. And I think by this event, it's also about bridging the generations and amplifying youth voices, as well as ensuring that evaluation remains relevant, inclusive, and responsive to today's issues. So yeah, I think uh, by what is it? When when given the space and trust, I think we can meaningfully contribute to shaping more just and impactful evaluation process. And to the fellow what is it YEEs, I think let's just continue supporting each other, learning together, and pushing boundaries of what evaluation can do. And to the wider community, I think thank you for creating spaces like this. And yeah, thank you everyone.
Okay, Tata, thank you so much for your notes here. And before that, I would like to read the Vicent's note here. The first is the use and the future of M&E is critical, given the shrinking donor funding. Yes, indeed. Like iron sharpen iron, experienced evaluators need to constantly engage in to peer-to-peer learning and support YEE's capacity development. Yeah, the next one is in Uganda, we conduct monthly evaluation talks and also university YEE's chapter clinics to show the YEEs still in school the path to professional M&E journey. This should be cascade around across the continent. And there's also a need to borrow best practices from our respective evaluations and localize them to our local context. Yeah, I I agree with all of your points here. Again, thank you so much, Vicent, for your time to join us today. And I would like also to thank again to Razan, Leah, Chacha, and Vicent for sharing your experience, sharing your work with us today. And to everyone that have joined us today, thank you again for being part of this global conversation. Whether you're just starting or continuing your journey in M&E, I hope today's session has inspired you to stay engaged, stay curious, and also stay connected as well. With that, I will now hand the floor back to our Master of Ceremony to guide us through the closing of today's event. Thank you again, and see you guys next time. Back to Inaya.
All right, thank you very much, Natasha. That was such a very interesting discussions from everyone here. Well, that's the end of our event for today. We have gathered such invaluable insights from our speakers, so everyone ever stop learning and always stay curious. And once again, I would like to say thank you to our speakers, Vicen, Khairunisa, Leah, Razan, as well as our moderator and other participants who always remain hungry for knowledge. Well, before we close the
Thank
sessions, I
you.
would like to, yes? All right. I would like to ask all participants to please fill in the attendance and the feedback form. You can scan the QR code here in our slides, or you can visit the link to complete the form. We will be giving you time about 3 minutes to fill in the attendance and feedback form. And don't worry, the materials will be distributed to you, and we will be distributing the materials later on after the session is ended. And for now, we want to gather your feedback as well as your attendance for today's session. So just want to make sure, has anyone found any trouble filling in the attendance or feedback form? Perhaps we can assist you. Okay, in the chat box, there is already the link. You can copy the link into your web browser and fill in the form. Please let us know if you cannot access the form or if there is anything that we can do to assist you. Once again, I would like to remind everyone that we will be distributing the materials later on once the session is ended. So don't worry, you still can have access to what our speakers were talking about here. Okay. Okay, all right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much again to our speakers who have given your time to share your knowledge and your experience with us. We hope that the Y&E Dialogues is expected to thrive, regardless wherever you are, whether you're starting your career or you're just curious or you are actually developing your career in M&E. Therefore, we hope that it is always thriving no matter where you are. And MONEV Studio is willing to facilitate regional and international dialogue between South and North countries. Once again, I would like to extend a very warm thank you for everyone and see you in other opportunities and see you again in the next Eval Torch. Eval Torch, ignite the future of evaluations. Thank you, everyone. Terima kasih. Good afternoon. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. Bye. Bye, Vincent. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a nice day.
Okay. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so
Yep.
much. Bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
guys. Bye. See you.